right, 26 minutes after 7 o'clock. What a beautiful Tuesday. Look at that out there, Roman. 50 degrees. Looks like it'll be a cool one today, but a beautiful one. High temperatures today are expected to reach 82. Mostly sunny skies. 50 tonight is the low. Tomorrow, 85 is the high with partly cloudy skies. 63 is the low Wednesday night. Thursday, we might see 90. Look at that. Partly cloudy, lows around 70. That'll bring us to Friday where some rain is coming in, cooling us down. 80 is the expected high on Friday. 72 the high on Saturday, and 78 the high on Sunday. So not quite in summer yet. If we were in summer, you wouldn't see anything in the 70s, right?
Exactly.
Except for the river, maybe, right? Speaking of which, Wikiwachi is hiring if you want to be a mermaid.
Yeah, I think that's pretty amazing. That's cool.
Kevin is not able to be a mermaid. Neither am I.
He can be a merman.
No,
they do have mermaids.
They're not doing that. They're not doing that. I read the whole article. Where's your picture?
Darn, and I was going to set time aside.
You guys could have been mer buddies. You both
mer buddies.
We're just creating all kinds of words.
Ooh, we would have been in the Inquirer for sure. All right. Dr. Heidi Maier is in the studio. Good morning, Heidi. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good to see you. You didn't say a word during that whole opening bit.
No, I'm not going to encourage that behavior.
Pretty dress, pretty cup.
Thank you.
Pretty shoes. I love her heels.
Thank you.
Heidi always has, Dr. Maier always has the best heels.
And they're great radio shoes, too.
Pretty embarrassed.
You can hear them.
Lots of noise.
Oh, stop.
Oh, we learned a magic trick for radio the other day. I'll share that with you in a little bit, yeah. It's an audio magic trick.
You know how to make radio go dark?
Yeah, I do. I do know how to.
Right?
The other voice you're hearing is Kevin Christian, both here to talk about the schools here in our county. Let's see, what do we have enough time to do this? Okay, let's see. So we'll talk to Dr. Maier and Kevin Christian in just a little bit about what's going on in our schools, some cool stuff. Two of the things Robin and I participated in. Yeah. Let's see, Galen Unol to Date 05. We're going to talk about the relics associated with Jesus that are still in existence. Apparently, the crown of thorns is in Notre Dame.
Yes, it's.
Yeah, they saved it.
Yeah, they saved it.
They saved it. Yeah. So, but there are other relics around the world. So I have kind of a list of them and where they are and all that. News bites at 8:35. That's when we read the news. Keep our opinions to ourselves. Carol Ann Baldwin in the Garden with Carol Ann at 9:05. Matt Gibbs talking about our cars at 10 o'clock. Lisa DiCarlo, the manager of safety and OSHA. Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Do you work with them? OSHA? Does OSHA mess with the schools?
That's more of an industrial governing body.
Well, it's National Dog Bite Prevention Week. I don't know what that has to do with anything. National Dog Bite Prevention Week.
Well, she's with the United States Postal Service, so they've come up with an app that will alert the postal delivery people if there's a dog going to be coming after them, and it will also alert the owners of the dog on the property that the mailman is approaching, so they can, tie up their dog.
Oh wow, okay.
So that's pretty cool.
Dr. Shab Krish, Restore Your Rest. Oh, there you go.
I need to listen to that.
I was thinking that too. Yes.
Restore some, and then restore your rest. Randall Sullivan is a journalist. He's got a book called The Curse of Oak Island. It sounds like a novel, right?
It's a true story.
Oh, it's a true story.
It's a true story. The History Channel is doing a series on it.
I was going to say that sounded familiar.
Really? Yeah. The world's longest treasure hunt.
Yeah.
Is that where they think the Holy Grail is buried?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Right.
Oak Island.
All right, we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. A fire at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris is out. The roof and part of the building is destroyed. We're told works of art and religious artifacts are saved.
Police are saying that they do not suspect any foul play here. They've opened an investigation into what they call involuntary destruction by fire. It is still widely believed that the fire was set off by the construction work that was going on inside.
Fox's Amy Kellogg, two French billionaires have pledged hundreds of millions of dollars toward reconstruction. A guilty plea from a New Jersey woman who raised $400,000 in donations for a homeless man she claimed gave her gas money. It was all made up.
28-year-old Kate McClure has pleaded guilty to theft by deception. The homeless vet, Johnny Bobbitt, also pleaded guilty. Both agreed to repay the blown money and testify against Kate McClure's ex-boyfriend in the deal, Mark D'Amico. McClure now facing 4 years in prison.
Fox's Therese Crowley. This is Fox News.
Napa know-how. This month at Napa, you can get a garden hose reel for just $24.99 when you spend $50 on, well, anything. Oil, brakes, Little Tree air fresheners, car wax, car soap, oil filters. As long as it's $50, you can get a self-retracting garden hose reel for $24.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer ends 4/30/19.
I'm John Simmons, Manager of Agriculture for Tabasco brand pepper sauce. My family's made Tabasco sauce for 150 years. What am I working for? I'm working to stay true to our family recipe.
At ADP, we're designing a better way to work so you can achieve what you're working for. HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll. Informed by data and designed for people. Learn more at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is encouraging state universities to approve resolutions that protect free speech on campuses, similar to a policy at the University of Chicago. The main booster core of the Falcon Heavy rocket that lifted off from Kennedy Space Center several days ago fell off the drone ship that was carrying it back and was lost at sea. Eustis residents are campaigning against the noise being made by a medical marijuana processing plant along County Road 44A. Activists gathered in the Florida Capitol yesterday to press the legislature to pass a state tax rebate that could benefit more than 5 million working-class Floridians. A series of small earthquakes hit South Alabama within hours of each other near the Florida state line. No damages were reported. And Weeki Wachee Springs is hiring mermaids. The job pays $12 an hour. You must be at least 18 years old, able to swim 400 yards, hold your breath a long time, and be female. Auditions are on Friday at 5 p.m. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Tuesday will be a nice day with lots of sunshine. The afternoon high between 78 at the coast and 85 inland. Mainly clear Tuesday night, lows in the upper 50s in the coolest inland spots, mid-60s along the coast. For Wednesday, mostly sunny and warm with a high of 80 on the coast, 85 inland. For Thursday, partly sunny and warm. There may be a shower or thunderstorm in spots, mainly during the afternoon hours over the interior. High 85 on the coast, 91 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
FAVO presents Symphony Under the Stars May 12th at the Ocala Golf Club, East Silver Springs Boulevard. Gates open at 4 p.m. Concert starts at 7. Advanced VIP tickets available online only. Regular adult tickets $20, $25 at the gate. Children 17 and under free. Bring food, beer, and wine or buy from our vendors. FAFO has everything you need. Visit www.fafo.org. Enjoy the symphony orchestra and fireworks under the stars. It's fun for all.
Friends, countrymen, tourists, and Ocalans, lend me your ears. Hey, speaking of ears, there is an opportunity for you to help feed and provide good maintenance, housing, and medical care for Marion County's rescued big cats, bears, monkeys, and other disabled or unreleasable wild and exotic animals. Take a tour on Wednesdays or Saturdays of the Endangered Animal Rescue Sanctuary. Adults $20, children 12 and under just $12. Call 352-266-2859 for any questions. That is really lame music right there. We gotta fix that. All right, we are ready to do the show now. Kevin Christian is here from Marion County Public Schools, as is Dr. Heidi Maier, the superintendent of Marion County Schools, and you got a bunch of stuff for us to talk about. First of all, how you both doing?
Fabulous.
You doing fabulous?
Great. Yep.
You look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you play piano every week? Are you playing piano every day?
Not every day, but most days.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm. Do you know if you don't play it for 2 days in a row? Can you tell?
No.
No?
No.
It's pretty much. Do you play any new songs? How often do you add a new song to your repertoire?
Oh, I'm not as creative as I used to be, but maybe once a month.
Oh, okay. Because you're the church music director, right?
Correct.
So you have to learn something new.
Well, yeah, but I'm not counting that.
Do you have any 80s music in you?
Tons of Open Arms is one of my favorite ones.
Oh.
Dr. Maier, do you play any musical instruments?
Nope.
No? How come? You never wanted to?
No, I just don't have that gift.
We can give you a gift. What instrument would you like?
Drums.
You would like the drums? Mm-hmm. We have a djembe over there. Do you want to play the djembe?
No.
Am I saying it right? Djembe?
Sounds right.
When a D and a J go together, I'm confused.
Do whatever you want. It's your show.
So as educators, when we have to pronounce things, and I'm talking like I'm a kid in school, but when a child has to read something in class, is there a way to know how to pronounce names? Names like, for example, from the Bible? They're hard. I mean, sometimes they're really hard to say, right?
Like Nebuchadnezzar?
Well, that one I happen to know. Yeah, but aren't some of them weird? Aren't some of the names weird? They got adjectives.
Read Genesis, and you'll see all the names that you could ever think of and more.
All right. I'm just showing my stupidness. All right, so you're hiring teachers? That's your first thing on the list.
We're always hiring teachers, aren't we, Dr. Maier?
Always looking for great people who want to change the lives of kids. Yes, but our big job fair is coming up April 27th.
And what do you do?
27th, yes.
What do you do at the job fair?
It's where we hire teachers on the spot. So we have sent out information to teacher preparation programs and across social media, and we'll be waiting with contracts in hand to hire people.
Do you know in advance that they're coming? Like, do you know in advance
they
who's
register.
coming?
Yeah, they have to pre-register.
Okay, so that gives you.
We'll take walk-ins.
That takes you a little heads up. So how do you hire on the spot unless you've done a little background? Right? You have to know.
Well, it's contingency contract because, of course, we can't do the background screening and all right there.
Okay. So if I came in and applied, I could be considered?
Considered,
What
yes.
could I teach?
Speech?
I can teach speech.
Sure.
Yeah. Teach you how to speak.
You could teach TV and audio production.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Do you have to be certified in that if you do that kind of teaching?
Well, you can be state certified or you can be locally certified.
How is it that you knew?
Oh, okay.
How is it, Kevin, that you never became a teacher? You'd be a great teacher.
It wasn't my desire. I think we're all teachers. I'm just not a certified formal teacher.
Okay.
We all impact people.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
And you're also going to have community partners and apartment complexes and other providers on hand.
Like new housing providers, apartment complexes, gyms, childcare providers. Yeah, that are there, anxious to help new residents moving into the area because those are the kinds of things you need, and you don't know where to go to for those. So you can come, be interviewed, get a job, get a contract, find a place to live. Find a place to take care of your kids. I mean, it's really kind of a neat concept. We try to make it as easy as we possibly can on new teachers.
And that'll be a week from Saturday.
At Vanguard High School.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
It's
Excellent.
at Vanguard High School this year. So
Excellent. That's a nice school.
We have our Future Teacher Academy there, and so they're going to be docents on that day. So
and
that'll
you have
be
to
exciting.
apply by this Friday.
Oh, okay.
So if anybody is out there and considering perhaps a second career, because we have a lot of career-changing teachers who retire and then become a teacher, you can go to our website, marionschools.net, and look for the job openings, and you can.
So I have a political thing I want to bring into the conversation based on your next topic. The political thing is, do you remember a couple days ago there was a congresswoman and she said some people did something referring to the World Trade Center attacks?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then the president and other people said somebody did something. This was, and then he started posting photos of the World Trade Center attacks and all that. And he said, "We will never forget."
Exactly.
And I thought to myself, we should never forget, but we should also never forget what we could have done better, so that might not have happened.
Right.
And that's why I think the Holocaust remembrance stuff is really important. And you guys are doing something for that.
We do.
Because on a world scale, if we don't recognize when there's a Hitler coming into power and nip it in the bud, is that the word bud or butt? What do you nip it in? But anyway, so, it could happen again. That's why we have to remember stuff like that.
Agreed.
Well, yeah, and to speak up. We always must speak up for those who cannot speak up for themselves. So
I know. So what are you doing? What's the event that you're having on April 28th?
We have a Holocaust commemoration event that takes place on Sunday, April 28th at 5 p.m. at Marion Technical Institute. And this is, I believe, our third year that we're doing this.
Yes.
And it's a nice time for the community to come together and simply remember what happened and pledge to never let it happen again.
Will you have Holocaust survivors to be speakers?
We have in the past. I don't think we have a survivor this year, but we have proclamations from our local governments. We have the mayor who's going to be there to share some insight. We have, I think most importantly, we will have students who have been studying the Holocaust and created their own presentations. It may be some kind of model or some kind of display, poster display. I was at Forest High School last week and saw some of their student pieces, and they're pretty dramatic.
Powerful.
Very powerful, yes. So
Gosh.
it's a short ceremony. It's an hour, so it's certainly budget conscious when it comes to time, but very serious and very poignant, very appropriate.
How many Jewish kids do we have in the school system? Is that a number we know?
We don't track by that. No.
When I was a kid, I don't remember the Jewish kids I went to school with necessarily being picked on because they were Jewish, but I do remember the Israeli kids because there was some kind of something going on in Israel, and so that a lot of them evacuated and came to New York, and they went to my school, and I remember those kids. They were picked on for some reason. I don't know why. I never really understood that.
We have a whole myriad of nationalities and religious backgrounds. You know, we have 43,000 students, so if you can think of it, we probably have it represented in our student
you probably do. When you do a talk show, like we do, on the Holocaust, sometimes you'll have people call up who deny that it happened. They will cite all this information. I don't know where they get it from.
Well, they're just living in their own world.
Yep.
I know. So the question is, does that happen at an event like this?
No.
I don't know how it can happen. I mean, when you have hundreds of students who have studied history and interpreted it based on factual information, that's firsthand in print. How do you say that it never happened, and how do you convince a student that it never happened? I don't.
And the Shoah, the survivors of the Shoah Foundation that we work with as well, where it brings the living testimony of survivors.
Right.
So.
Does the contribution of the Allied nations during World War II, is that part of it as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole curriculum.
That brings it home to them, doesn't it?
It's a whole curriculum that's designed for, I don't want to say every grade level, but it's certainly in the upper elementaries and in the middle and high school. It's very well represented. So.
Yeah, a lot of them have probably great-grandparents at this point, right?
Sure.
Who served in World War II, right?
Sure.
All right, the fun one. We did this the other day, the Student Media Festival.
Yay.
Oh,
that was the 18th annual. That means we've done it 17 years.
Really? Only 17? I thought you guys were there. Maybe you weren't.
No, we weren't there for the first one.
Have you really done it 17 years? I think you have.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. You guys and Howard Leary.
Howard has done everyone.
Has been there every year. Yes. But yes, we had 315 videos this year, and we had 34 people, including the two of you, come in and judge those videos, and all of them are student produced, and you guys saw some of those entries. You saw the best of shows. It is amazing what our kids produce. It really is.
Some of it is, you wouldn't even think a student did it. It looks like stuff you would see. I mean, it's better than some of the TV stations produce.
Take that that video produced by Forest High School that won Best of Show. It's called Cake.
Oh, yeah, that was very moving.
And that was very good in more than just its production.
Oh, absolutely.
It was very good in the way it was thought out, and the way it was the storytelling of that. Yes.
The story was told, absolutely.
Yeah. In a very small amount of time.
Oh, yeah, 30. It
was great.
Well, I think that may have been a 1 minute deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, you know, and with video, you have to tell the story, and that's a craft that students learn. They're introduced to it. In our district, very early on, we have kindergarten students who appear on the morning show. So they're involved in that if they want to be, and they can be involved all the way through high school.
Of the videos we judged, the one that we thought was the best of all the ones we judged, it was a documentary. I'm not going to say any more other than that because I don't want to say anything. But we didn't nominate it as Best of Show because it really didn't tell a story. I mean, it told a news story in a way.
Not every video is a winning video.
Yeah, but this was so well done. Yeah. And one of the teachers came up to us and thanked us for our comments, which I thought, well, that's kind of cool. We never had feedback on our feedback before, so yeah.
The kids really take the judging comments very seriously because it's a very competitive event, as you know, and they want their video projects to win. They want those bragging rights and they want to be able to scream out their school's name that night. You guys heard that. It's just a great event. It takes a full year to produce it. It really does, with so many facets, but it's so worth it.
And then they're going on to the different kinds of competitions.
First
the ones
year,
that
our
win
first place
place
videos automatically advance to the state competition. And I believe for the last 16 years, our district has provided more first place finishers at the state level than any other district in the state.
That's cool.
That's beyond Orange County and Miami-Dade, where there's big production companies and production schools, and our kids outdo those kids.
So I have a real quick story to tell you. Years ago, I was a boss, and I had to evaluate one of the people under me. I never thought of myself that way. That's why I kind of say it that way, because it seems silly, but that was my job, to evaluate him. And I gave him all 5s. So 5 was the highest score you could give anybody. Everything he did, he came in early, he went above and beyond, he did everything perfect. Gave him all 5s. I told him, I said, Frank, you're going to get all 5s. I mean, I can't find anything wrong at all. I mean, I went through everything they asked me to go through. I handed it in, because if you get all 5s, guess what? You get a raise.
Did he get a raise?
No, because you can't. I was called to later on to my superior, right? You can't give all 5s. Nobody's perfect. I said, no, this guy is. This guy shows up early, does everything perfect. No, and I had to reduce some of those numbers. And I had to go back and tell him. I said, you're not going to believe this, and I swear it wasn't me. After that, he hated the lady who was over me. But it was really somebody over her. It was like this big hierarchy of people. All right, well, I don't know.
We do have some videos that score perfectly.
And that's what I'm getting at, is because when we're scoring the videos, there are some videos that to me look perfect. Yeah. And then you have another one that to me looks perfect, and Robin too. And we'll say, well, you can't have 2 winners. You have to figure out one that has something wrong with it.
Right.
So and then you have to explain in the notes, what exactly did I lose a point for? Because there's only 1 point.
And the students compare those sheets. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah,
they're very competitive.
So I felt so bad for the number 2 in the one category I'm talking about.
But they're happy to win second place.
They were just as
the thrill for many of those students is coming there that night, walking down that red carpet, being on live television and walking across that stage. And that is what it's about for them. Sure, the bragging rights are great. Bragging rights kind of come in later, middle and high school. But those elementary kids, man, they just love getting dressed up, walking across that stage, shaking hands.
Was Alex Moy, was he a student in our system at one time?
I don't believe so. No, I believe
I thought he was. I thought he was.
Private school, yeah.
I called out his name while I was up there, because I thought he had been a student in this.
I don't believe so.
No?
And if the people have missed it because you aired it on the Education Channel, it will be rebroadcast.
On the Marion Education Channel, Fridays and Saturdays at 7 p.m., Sundays at 2 p.m. throughout the month of April, and, of course, on our YouTube channel 24/7.
Excellent.
Great show.
So your next topic you want to talk about is the Superintendent's Literacy Festival.
That was fun.
Lots of fun.
That was awesome. It was a big bunch of happy.
It was a big bunch of
happy. Yes, so that happened this past Saturday, and we were so excited to partner with the Marion County Literacy Council. In conversations with them, we found that we share a lot of the same families. So the folks that they're helping, the adults that they're helping, tend to be parents of kids in our system. So it's just a natural partnership, and what a great day when we had every one of our schools out there represented with a book theme, and y'all came out and read, and we had other guest readers. It was just a great day to celebrate reading.
Did you guys get the chance to walk around and see the booth?
Oh yeah,
it was
wonderful.
Yeah, that was really, really creative. Really a lot of work went into every one of the booths. So, and to your credit, Heidi, the idea of instilling the importance of reading at a very early age makes such a big difference in everybody's life. I should get you that book. I told you about it more than once. The Enchanted Hour, about reading to your children. Oh, I'll have to get you a copy of that. It is really true what she's saying in the book, is that, reading to children, and obviously this is your same message, makes all the difference in the world later on in life, even if it is a silly book like about an elephant and a balloon or whatever.
That's very important, but then keeping that excitement alive as they get older is also so important. And you saw this year a lot of our high schools and middle schools stepped up with the with books for older readers, and I thought that was great and so important that these older kids understand too. It's not a chore, but it's a joy, and to celebrate that.
I'll tell you something I really enjoyed about this year's festival that I hadn't seen in previous years was the interaction between older and younger students.
Yes,
that was wonderful.
Yeah,
even whether it was books, whether it was just activities together, there were Forest baseball players there interacting with some of the younger kids,
right? Playing t-ball,
yeah. And just that kind of interaction where as a little kid you look up to those big high school people. They're your heroes, even though you don't know them. They're really cool. They're the cool people.
Exactly.
It was great.
It was.
And the weather was beautiful.
The weather was perfect, and we got
the celebrity readers were great. You guys too.
And we did get to meet the 8th grade student that came up with the theme, Traveling Through Time, and she was one of the readers.
Kamari.
And she was just the sweetest lady, young lady.
She's certainly on the road to success, isn't she?
Oh, certainly.
Impressive.
Yep.
I told her that I traveled through time. The only problem is I used to look better before I traveled through time.
Time travel's hard on you, isn't it?
It is. Hey, the next one. I see the word Disney in the next one. This must be something that you are involved with. Am I right? The Commissioner's 34th Academic Challenge. What is that? I know where it is.
Oh my gosh! Yes, well, it was at Disney, and that's why it's on there. But that.
That's in the past? That happened already?
Yes, that happened, Thursday through a Saturday. And we have had a team for many years. And for many years, the coach of that team has been Dr. Cruz. And what the Dr. Cruz from Vanguard High School. So what this is it is, you might think Trivial Pursuit or trivia or something, but it's actually more intense, more in-depth, and a slower-paced academic type of competition.
Oh, really?
And yes. And so Dr. Cruz has coached for years and years and years. And this year, Marion County placed second in the state in our division.
Exciting.
And he said this is the highest we have ever placed. And it was so exciting to be there for that. So I went down Thursday when they won their first match. Then they played again Saturday, the semifinals. I was there for that, and then they won that. We went to finals, and yes, so attended that, and then there's their banquet that evening. It was fabulous. Yes.
So it says on the notes here, it's not a quick response competition. Explain what that means.
Well, like on Jeopardy, where they ask a question, you have to buzz in very quickly. This is more they'll ask the question, then you have time to process, and it is the first one to respond, of course, but you take your time to answer because these are some deep questions.
But the first to respond is the one who gets it?
Well, if you're correct, yes.
No.
Yes. But the chancellor was there, Chancellor Oliva, and he came over during the final match, and he said, I just heard how Marion just was incredible in the semifinals. And I said, of course we are. So, yeah, that was great.
And this year's team was made up of students from Vanguard and Westport High School. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All sophomores and juniors.
That's exciting.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Very exciting.
What kind of questions were asked?
Oh my gosh, I can't. Math equations.
Two
the length
trains
of this
leave
table.
the station at the same time in opposite directions.
Yes, and then there were ones about where the moderator would ask would state like a two sentences, and then she said in French or Spanish. What is in the context of this statement? What was this? And you had to spell it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh! Yes, everything. There was just everything. They would play musical selections, and the students had to analyze it and come up with specific instruments that were played at such and such a time mark. I mean, it amazing, just amazing. So, yes.
How do you study for that? How do you prepare?
I don't think it's something you study for overnight or in 4 weeks. I think it's a culmination of your academic efforts that build up each year.
Yeah. And then Dr. Cruz would have practice matches just so that they would get used to hitting the buzzer correctly, or they would have some questions. You would have a packet on your table and like the specific way to open that packet. It's all very technical. Yes.
Oh, really? You know that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? My answer to that question is no. I am not.
I used to host an event here locally for a charity, and some of those questions, I was like, nope, I'm not smarter than fifth grade.
I know we've done it for a while. We haven't done it in a long time, but we used to get some of the questions from the actual show.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not smarter than a 5th grader. And in this case, they're 11th graders, right? In the competition, 11th,
10th and 11th, yeah.
All right, the next one. I hate this one, but it has to be dealt with. And P.S. If I could say, Heidi, that in some of the videos, I'm talking about the social media threads. That's the next one. In some of the videos where they were showing the implementation of the practice runs for the Alice Protocol and things like that. That's you. I mean, that goes back to you, because we wouldn't have that if it wasn't for you. And we talk about it all the time when we talk about how our children are safer, because you made the decision to implement that right after the Parkland shooting, which I believe saved lives. I believe the whole Forest School, I know we don't want to bring it up, but I think you saved lives that day just by doing that. So thank you. So social media threats. So what's going on? People are saying crazy things. I see your posts, so I sort of kind of know.
It's that time of the year where it's the last few weeks of school, and sometimes students just get a little excited and don't make good choices. And what they do is they go online and they say they're going to do this, or they say they're going to do that at school, and other students overhear it. And fortunately, we've taught our students to see something, hear something, say something, and they do that. And so unfortunately, we have lots of rumors out there when it comes to school threats, and they just kind of proliferate on social media, and it just consumes the attention in our community. And that's unfortunate, because it is a complete disruption, not just to the school day, but to our entire community. And many of those in your audience, your listening audience, get phone calls from me all the time talking about those social media threats and encouraging parents to have those conversations with their kids, reminding them, hey, make good choices. Good choices will help you succeed, because when you make a bad choice, there's a consequence to it.
And Kevin, there's been more than one time when we've had calls here.
Absolutely.
And then Robin will call you.
Yes.
Because you're our person to find out what's the truth about whatever this thing is. Yeah. So, and I think you do a really good job again on this one, Heidi, by getting the word out about whatever the update is. Like whenever you see something like this, and then there's news on it, like it was nothing, we figured it out, we got the kid under arrest or whatever. And
well,
then,
that's Kevin.
It's a team effort. You know, communicating is never easy, and my favorite college professor taught me that you cannot not communicate. Not saying anything is communicating in a bad way sometimes. So, you know, we can't always share the most important information that people want to know because it's critical to the investigation that's going on. But we try to share the information that we can when we can.
And that's very important.
And social media has taught us to be an instantly gratified society, and that's not possible in many situations that we deal with as a school district.
Exactly.
I know we're almost at the bottom already. Let's see, the March Madness Reading Challenge.
Oh my goodness, our kids read so much over the break. We're so proud of them, all of them, from kindergarten through 12th. And so we have one more day left of Prize Patrol where we give out the prizes. Yes, but just so excited for these kids and so thankful for our teachers, media specialists, and families that supported and encouraged this. It was great. It was great.
You want to see a kid light up about reading. You walk into the classroom with Slice, Mr. Slice from Papa John's. Oh, they know who he is. And you ask him about Marion, and they can tell you everything you ever wanted to know about Marion.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's a lot of fun.
That's excellent.
A lot of fun.
And then you've got testing season. That's
from
starting
now until the end of the year, literally.
I remember those days. I hated those days when I was a kid.
Well, we're kind of celebrating them because our kids have learned so much. We're so proud of them. So this is just time for them to just relax and show what they know. We got this.
It's a nice attitude, but I bet you they're nervous too.
But we are trying to help them look at it in a different way.
Good for you.
Mayor talked about it.
And then you've done a wonderful thing with the graduation ceremonies this year.
Well, you know, for the first time, if you really wanted to attend every public high school graduation in Marion County and you had tickets, you could do that because there's no two graduation ceremonies happening at the same time. Yep. So
that's pretty amazing.
And without saying what I'm talking about, Heidi, thank you because you helped me get help for a friend that I had bumped into who was having issues with his daughter. So thank you for that. And you jumped on it within 5 minutes, just so people know.
I was in the Philadelphia airport, too.
You were in Philadelphia?
In the airport, coming back from Penn State.
Gosh, okay.
Yeah.
Recruiting new teachers.
Recruiting new teachers, Penn State.
Oh, can't wait for that teacher.
Did you dangle Florida in front of their faces?
Oh, yeah. Well, and you know what was, a lot of those young folks had relatives in the villages, and that's what hooked them to come to us.
Oh,
so I was like, yes, so grandma will be close enough if you need money, but not so close she's all in your business. So they're like, where do I sign? So,
That's excellent.
Yep.
Well, we're so lucky to have the both of you. We are very blessed in our community that you both are here, and no matter what time of day it is or what day it is, you both are always there to help.
And thank you for including us in on some of the things you do.
We love that you guys are involved.
Kevin, Christian, we love you. Dr. Heidi Maier, we love you. Thank you both for what you do, and see you next month.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here is your 1-minute news brief. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is encouraging state universities to approve resolutions that protect free speech on campuses, similar to a policy at the University of Chicago. The main booster core of the Falcon Heavy rocket that lifted off from Kennedy Space Center several days ago fell off the drone ship that was carrying it back and was lost at sea. Eustis residents are campaigning against the noise being made by a medical marijuana processing plant along County Road 44A. Activists gathered in the Florida Capitol yesterday to press the legislature to pass a state tax rebate that could benefit more than 5 million working-class Floridians. A series of small earthquakes hit South Alabama within hours of each other near the Florida state line. No damages were reported. And Weeki Wachee Springs is hiring mermaids. The job pays $12 an hour. You must be at least 18 years old, able to swim 400 yards, hold your breath a long time, and be female. Auditions are on Friday at 5 p.m. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Tuesday will be a nice day with lots of sunshine. The afternoon high between 78 at the coast and 85 inland. Mainly clear Tuesday night, lows in the upper 50s in the coolest inland spots, mid-60s along the coast. For Wednesday,